We are live, and I am Chanel Dupree, and I am here for another creative conversation. I have with me Ashley Mizell, and before I have her to introduce herself, I just want to throw a quick reminder that Creative Conversations, it's a space where we hear about people in our community who are doing creative things. And the purpose is to share the purposeful project, but also for others to find the courage to tap into their creative side as well. Welcome, Ashley. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm super excited.
I am excited to hear from you as well. And I cleared it with you first, and I want for you to do an introduction of who Ashley is. But I found this great clip. It's only a minute, 30 seconds, and I want to play it for folks. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it now.
Thanks.
Now, Ashley loved photography and started a successful business. But 2 years ago, Ashley noticed something happening with her vision. She went to her doctor, and the news was devastating.
My life was a juggling act. I have a beautiful family and a career that I love. I really didn't think life could get any better than that. My world turned upside down due to an autoimmune disease. I was losing my sight.
I felt like it was on my shoulders to fix what Ashley was going through. It was rough.
I was devastated. I wasn't going to be able to see my family's faces again.
Please don't take your vision for granted.
I found a purpose in life with social media. You can see my everyday life from cooking to changing a diaper.
This is called an OrCam.
The OrCam My Eye device has given me independence that I really never thought I could have.
Thinking back to the time I could see things.
The OrCam has allowed me to interact with my kids. Yeah, this is my life.
Oliver, Bentley.
Just because you lost your vision doesn't mean you lost your life.
What a great way to end that clip. And Ashley, you are, of course, more than your vision. And so I want to just hear from you and tell folks who you are.
So, my name is Ashley Mizell. A lot of people know me by Blind Mama Boys. And I just so happened to be someone that was living her life thinking I knew my plan, I knew my future, and then I got sick randomly and I lost my vision within 3 to 4 weeks from sarcoidosis. And now I bring awareness to the blind and visually impaired and just remind people, like, just because you're blind, it doesn't mean your life is over. Y'all just have to learn to do things differently, and that's totally okay.
So I know that that's the primary focus, but I suspect that you also encourage so many other people who are going through many of life's challenges, just the what you've created. And so let's get into that. Okay, so let's talk about what you created and how you did it. So what did Ashley courageously, creatively create?
So when I was sitting in the doctor's office and they told me that they couldn't fix my vision, I was completely devastated and I was at rock bottom. And that's when I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix this whole entire situation and do something with my life to just feel like I had a purpose again? So my eye doctor, he said there was no cure for my eyes. Well, my husband and I, we did the research. We found some stem cell treatments and we did all our research, found a girl that had the same sarcoidosis, same health conditions happened to her that happened to me. And she's had like this treatment done like 3 or 4 times. And now she owns her own restaurant. Wow. So I decided I'm going to go for it. And at the same time, I remember sitting on my back porch and I said, man, that feeling I had sitting in the doctor's office, I don't want other people to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because I just remember him saying like, no, sorry, there's nothing we can do. And I was like, girl, I'm just going to pull out my camera and start talking to it. and start sharing my story. That was my first TikTok I ever did. I was like, y'all, this is crazy, but we're on a journey to get my vision back. I'm going to take you guys along with me. Let's do this. And I basically just turned a really, really bad, hard situation into just a little bit better. I definitely feel like I have more of a purpose now than I did when I had my vision.
This sounds like hope, right? You decided that, okay, I just heard this devastating news, but I'm not losing hope. There are other people who have done different things, and so I'm going to begin. And then you didn't just like keep it in, you let it out. Like, so what was the process for you deciding that you were actually going to share your story?
Oh man. So the first year I kept everything in,
Mm.
and that was really, really difficult. I was in the deepest, darkest depression. I was suicidal. I had a suicide note. I was just ready to be done with my life. And then, by the grace of God, my parents called me and they were just talking to me and they could tell something was wrong. And they were just telling me, like, Ashley, you're more than your vision. Like, your boys love you with or without your vision. Like, you have so much to live for, you know? So once that all clicked and I started processing, like, Ashley, you're going to do this for your kids. You're going to wake up every single day and you're going to show up and you're going to do it. And when I got my phone out, I remember I called my dad right away and I said, Dad, I sound so silly talking to my camera, especially because I can't see what I look like, but I'm going to start sharing my story. And I felt so like nervous because there's so many people in the world. And
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't know what TikTok was all about back then. I was like, do people really want to know about a stem cell treatment? Because that's what my TikTok at first was all just about. I didn't really welcome my kids or anything in it. And then I started showing like just being visually impaired and having a family and raising kids and changing a diaper. My youngest son at the time when I first got sick, he was actually 7 months old. So
Wow.
it was, yeah. And then my middle son was 4, and then I had a 5-year-old. So it was very, very hard.
Yeah. To say the least. It's already hard being a mom, period. But then being a mom and like it's not as if you were born into this and you've learned how to function in it. It's like you're in your what,
30.
late 20s, early 30s?
I was 28 when I got sick, and I'm 32 now.
So you were in your late 20s and had to figure out how to literally alter your life.
With 3 boys and a husband. And that was seriously the rockiest part of my whole entire life. It was just kept going back and forth. Like, is this worth it? Is it not? Is it worth it? Like, why am I even doing this? And then I realized I was reaching more people out there, and it really wasn't just people for the blind and visually impaired.
I know.
One thing, this one girl, I will tell you, this is when I was like, girl, you are doing something. Like, keep it up. I was like, you are staying here. Like, you're not going anywhere, Ashley. But I was sharing my story, and I opened up a message late one night, and this girl goes, I'm not visually impaired or anything, Ashley, but because of you, I'm not going to kill myself. Like, I was really contemplating it, but you just keep saying, like, you can do hard things. And I really believe that. And I was like, girl, yes. Like, that's when I said, okay, I have a purpose. Before, my purpose I thought was photography. I was a photographer. When a career and a passion come together, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I thought I was living the dream already.
Yes.
I thought like it couldn't get any better. My husband worked part-time. He was a stay-at-home dad the other time and helped me with my photography. Like we were happy.
Yeah.
But then this came, and I realized that it's a lot more than just what I thought it was. I have a bigger purpose now than before, than just hearing the shutter on my camera.
Yeah. So, number one, Ashley and I live in the same community, but I didn't realize who Ashley was or your story until your feed came across, like a video came across my feed probably a few months ago. And I was like, I think I see her at basketball games, like in football games. And you're you're like me. You're a mom. Like we were sitting on the bleachers and we were complaining about how small the bleachers were. Like
Yes.
it was a terrible situation to be in.
Yes.
But it's like, but you are living your life. You're living your life and you're enjoying your boys and you're making memories and things
Oh,
with your
man.
husband. Yeah.
The only thing I tell you that I can't do is officially drive. Like, that's just the only thing I can't do. And my kids will tell you, they'll say I can't drive and I can't fly. And I'm like, well, most people can't fly. So I'm pretty much winning. Like, it's so cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. But you're right. God is absolutely using you, and I love that you're hearing those stories. When you hear those stories, what does it do to you? Like, what do you feel?
It says, it literally in my soul, it just says, Ashley,
Yeah.
keep going. Vision. Like, you were so like ignorant back in the day to actually think that vision meant I really thought that vision was basically just automatic. You always would have it. I thought that if you didn't have it, you basically couldn't be happy.
Mm,
That is the most silliest thing I've ever heard. Don't get me wrong. The first year or two, it's such a struggle. It is very, very, very hard. And even to this day, it's very hard.
yeah.
Joey and I, my 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old, just a few days ago, we were going around the neighborhood because I try to still get out with my kids. And he was riding his little green machine. And he was like, I really want to go fast down the hill. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go down to the end and I'm going to listen for cars because I don't want a car to come. And I let him go down this hill in the neighborhood. And the little nucky head, all I could see was a tiny blur, but I didn't know how close he was or what. And he just ran right into me. And I
Wow.
was like, and I have bruises and cuts and stuff all over me. And like the neighbors came out and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine, you know. But even if I had my vision, that probably wouldn't have happened. But I probably wouldn't have been out there with my son in the first place doing that, really.
Mm,
Like I was so caught up in really what everything around me was.
yeah.
And
Yes.
I've learned now it's not like that.
Yeah. You see what's important. Family.
Yeah.
Family and friends. Yeah. I love that. I love that. So, Ashley, you how do you support yourself? How do you what are you doing?
So I like me, just my self-care and my mental health or what?
All of that.
So I'm actually really lucky. I love Uber. I still get out of my house. I still get to go do stuff. I get to get my nails done. Like I can get my hair colored. Like that's me feeling good inside. Even though I know a lot of people are like, why do you get your nails done or your hair done and all that? And I'm like, just because I can't see it doesn't mean I don't care about it. Like being able to feel, I do my makeup so much better now than before. Like
That's amazing.
you have to count, you have to go by like you have to know exactly like how much you're putting on where. And when you actually have your vision, you're just in the motions doing stuff because you take so much for granted. So yeah. That I do a lot of self-care stuff like that.
Do you
Just
find
makes me happy.
do you pay attention to other, like I heard you talk about listening for cars and you said also kind of, so have your other senses really heightened? Like do you use your other senses a lot more?
Yes, I do. My hearing is so good. It is so good, too good, really. My kids are so freaking loud all the time. um, but yes, I definitely use my other senses and just I go out a lot by myself. I was just in Hawaii and I was with my parents and grandparents and I wanted to know how to get down to the beach. I'm 32 years old. I'm not there with my husband. I'm not there with my kids. I'm still an adult. I want to feel a little bit of independence because I don't really get a lot of independence to go and do stuff by myself. I'm always with either an Uber driver or I have somebody with me, just so I'm not by myself. And I remember telling my parents, like, please just teach me how to get down there. I know I can do it. You just got to help me, like, figure out the way. And I did it. And I was going to the beach myself, girl. It was so awesome. I was feeling accomplished. I almost fell in the pool one time because like I didn't realize I was on a side with water on both sides of me. But
Okay.
all it took was a stranger to say like, hey, ma'am, can I help you? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are so nice.
Oh, wow. Do you find that a lot, that a lot of people are willing to like offer some assistance or say something like, hey, be, watch out, or, be aware, or
In Kansas, in the Midwest, absolutely. So I actually flew up to Connecticut, not last year, the year before, because I went to New York with my brother and I was on the Dr. Oz show,
Okay.
just bringing awareness to the blind and visually impaired. And at the time, my mom was going through cancer and she was having surgery that week. So my dad couldn't go with me, and my husband needed to stay with the boys. And they were like, you just probably shouldn't go. It's just probably not the best timing for you. And I was like, I'm going. Like, I can rely on other people. I have my OrCam. It will help me like figure out where I'm at. Like, I'm just going to ask strangers for help. Is it ideal? No. Obviously, it would be amazing to have vision that I could just know where I'm going, but I
Yeah.
can't. So, yeah, I depend on a lot of strangers. And I will tell you, flying up there, I felt so accomplished. By the time I sat on that stage with Dr. Oz, I told him, I said, sir, I just flew from Kansas City all the way here by myself. Like,
Wow.
I cannot believe I did it.
That is
But it was
amazing.
with the help of everybody around me, like sometimes I do get a bad vibe, like
Mhm.
when I'm around some people and I can't see them. All I can do is hear them.
Mm.
And just even at the grocery store, I was with my husband and kids, and my husband said, just stay right here. I'm going to take the boys over here for a second. I was like, okay. Well, I just kept getting brushed up upon on the side of me at Walmart. And this guy did it like 2 or 3 times, and I knew it was the same exact guy. And I
Mm.
was so uncomfortable. I just got my phone out and just started recording him. And I just, where the sound was, just
Yeah.
because I was so uncomfortable. And I don't really get that often. Like, I
Okay.
don't have those moments very often. It's maybe only a handful. I really, really love just the community and the support and just how nice they are here in the Midwest, for sure.
Awesome. I love that plug for the Midwest because we are a very polite and thoughtful people.
100%. I learned that more than ever when I was in Hawaii. Y'all, over there in Hawaii, they don't really say hi. But then I was wondering, maybe they all don't speak English, because in Hawaii you get people from all over that go
Mhm.
there. But then
Mhm.
one morning I heard all these people passing me, and I'm walking by myself, and I was counting how many turns I was going, and I finally heard somebody say good morning. And I just stopped and I said, thank you for saying good morning. Hearing that good morning made me so happy, because I've heard like 4 or 5 people walk by me and I just don't know if they're waving at me and I can't see them or what.
No,
like,
that
where are
is
you from? And then when she said where she was from, I was like, oh, the Midwest.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Well, Ashley, you mentioned the OrCam. Can you talk to us about the OR? Because I learned about it from you. Like, I had never heard of it. I didn't know what it was. And so I began seeing you talk about it. And I was like, what is this? So I Googled it. But can you talk about what that is?
Yes. So first I'm going to talk how I first found out about it.
Okay.
I first found out about this just by a commercial, because my doctor said, nope, there's nothing we can do. I don't know how you're going to be able to read to your kids again. I was like, what? Like, how do people do this? And then I saw a commercial on Dr. Phil for the OrCam My Eye. And our community raised money. They put on a golf fundraiser and they raised money for me to get one.
Wow.
And it was so awesome. But I wasn't ready at first. I let it sit for the first like 6 months, because I was like, oh, this technology, what am I going to do? But then Bentley, my oldest, he goes, Mom, I really just want to read a book with you. And I said, okay, son, like, cause he just missed me. It was all his dad, and he just missed that bonding and one-on-one time. So I said, okay, I'm going to get out this OrCam. So I got out this OrCam, and it's like a camera, and it connects to your glasses, and it will take pictures of what's in front of you. It'll read you the date, the time, color. It'll do barcodes. It'll read papers, menus. It'll pinpoint down to like what you want. And I realized, dang, this thing is cool. Like, why don't more people know about this here in the United States? Like, I am sick and tired of going to the doctor's office and being told, sorry, nope, there's nothing we can do for you, Ashley.
Right.
Like, what? Like, no, I have 3 little boys. I need to be able to read to them. So once I got a hang of the OrCam, I started tagging the company on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok. And I was like, you guys need more advertisement. Like, come on. Like, more people need to know about this. Next thing you know, they reached out to me, and they're from Israel. And I've been in contract with them and on the United States team for almost 3 years now.
Wow, Ashley, that's
I
amazing.
know it is. It's awesome because, like, when I first got sick and getting told basically, like, there's nothing we can do for you. You're not going to be able to read. Like, I'm telling you, girl, that feeling I felt, it was not something I want anybody to feel. And from that moment, I said, Ashley, use your voice. You're really good at talking, and you got way more confident when you lost your vision. So just go for it, girl. And it's worked. I'm helping more people. I'm bringing more awareness to the blind and visually impaired. More people are able to read a book now that couldn't do it before.
Yep.
I heard this one story, this veteran, he got his OrCam. He's 101 years old, and he's back to reading the newspaper. And I'm like,
that is
that's what I love.
amazing. That is amazing. Well, Ashley, are you working on anything? Like, is there anything that you want to share that you're working on right now?
Right now, I'm actually in the process. I started a book.
Yay!
I did. This takes a really, really long time. It takes a really long time. And I'm not someone that's really good with my words. I just like lay everything out there. I'm very emotional, and I'm not very good at writing, but I know my story needs to get out there.
Yep.
So I got to start. So I started.
And that's how you start, by just starting.
Exactly. I was literally, I kept talking about it forever. And then I was up in the middle of the night one night. I couldn't sleep. And I was like, man, all of a sudden it came to me. And I said, girl, just get out your phone and start talking to it. And I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great.
Yep, absolutely. And so what I'm displaying on the screen right now is your link. And it has, I looked at it, it has all the different ways that people can support you. Is that right?
Yes. You can come follow me on all my social media platforms. I would greatly appreciate it. And you guys can come learn about not just being blind or visually impaired. I talk a lot about just depression and curly hair.
We love a good conversation about hair.
Girl, yes. Like that was another amazing thing from social media and just sharing my story. I ended up getting in contact with people, brands that are my hair. They were like, we love your hair and you have a following. Like, how can we help you and you help us? And I'm like, this is awesome, you guys. Like,
I love it. And that's on the link as well. What is the company called?
Less Brand. So love yourself. It's love your curls. It's bouncy. It's great.
Yes, I told you I saw I have a picture that I'm gonna display, but I told you it's a fabulous photo. Like, you're colorful, the glasses are colorful. I'm like, this picture is fabulous. So that is awesome. So as we kind of wrap up a little bit, I want to just provide a space. Is there anyone or any shout outs that you want to give for someone who's helped you through your journey?
I owe a huge thank you to my kids and my husband for not giving up on me.
Yes.
And just reassuring me that I'm not a burden, because I feel like one constantly. And my parents and my in-laws, my sister-in-law, she's been a lifesaver. We actually moved in with her when I first got sick. And then I'll tell you, with this one other person, 2 other people actually, my best friend from kindergarten, she's always talked to me, but then when I got sick, it was every single day. She sends me like a positive thing to remind me that I'm worthy and I'm enough, and just little messages like that, like, Casey, I love you. And my brother, like, it's just been I have a really, really good support in community. And that's how I feel like I'm so successful, because if it wasn't for my people, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't feel as happy and as good as I do.
I love it. And I see, and I know that other people see the joy that you have in your smile and just in your conversation. So I love that. But I also love how you're very honest with how it's not always peaches and cream. And you do have these feelings but then how the people around you help support you through that. So
Oh,
love,
yeah.
love, love.
They're always saying, get the devil out of my head. Like when I start to feel down, I'm like, get the devil out. Like,
Right.
I have a purpose. I know why I'm here. It's
Oh,
hard. Life is hard. Like that's something I tell my kids all the time. They're like, but it's just so hard, Mom. Like, why do you do it? And I'm like, everything in life, if you actually sit back and think about it, is hard.
yeah.
Everything is.
Yep. Yep.
And really, now looking back, I'm so thankful for this whole entire journey. Because if it wasn't for going through all this hard stuff, I guess you could say, I know I wouldn't be as happy and just, I wouldn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah, and this is the good stuff, right? The other side of hard, the other side of going through and the tears and the wondering. It's the knowing that it's all for a purpose and it's all worth it.
Yes.
So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so creative stands for something. And so I sent you some words and they were C, committed, R, ready, E, excited, A, audacious, T, tenacious, I, inspires, V, visionary, or E, energy. So my question for you is, of those words, which one really exemplifies you?
To me, when I hear those and I hear you say energy, that's something like I want to be able to put off good energy. I want that around me. I want to be able to send that message and have like good energy is really good to have and just be successful with.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The energy for E. Yay. And you followed directions. You didn't pick like two or three like other folks do. I love it. And so, Ashley, are you a music person? Do you like music? Okay.
Music is medicine. That's how I literally like survived. At first, my days and nights were completely messed up because it was completely gray in my eyes for the first year and a half. So I didn't know if it was day. I didn't know if it was night. So the music is what saved me on those lonely, lonely, lonely times.
Okay. So, what is a song that brings you joy, encouragement, and really exemplifies your outlook in life?
By Casey Musgraves, Rainbow. That song, it's just like you're finally crossing over and it's going to be good. It's going to be peaceful. Like it takes hard work, but then you get there.
Yeah. Your life, right?
Yeah. And just being happy, like I love it.
I love it. Well, I am inspired. I'm energized after talking with you. And again, thank you, Ashley, so much for joining us on another courageous and creative conversation. Thanks, Ashley.